Good morning, viewers at home. Welcome to the program, SuperDawn. I am Vera Osoko with you on this edition of the program. Well, this morning we're going to be looking through the papers, and we want to look at what we did. We couldn't do it yesterday. That's the cost of governance, and we're focusing on the legislators, and that's what we're going to be doing this morning. And of course, we have the Christ Embassy Lagos Zone 2 coming to talk about their event they're having at the end of this month. And it's going to be very interesting because today we want to look at the cost of governance. If you look at the Constitution, when we look at Section 4 of the Nigerian Constitution, you will discover that we have a bicameral Constitution. And looking at the Senate, members of the Senate, they are 109. And we also look at the House of Representatives, they are 360. So we want to look at what we give them as pay, take-home pay, and looking at the economy of the country and also looking at the budget of 2018. But I'll take us back to 2017, what we had as budget, and what their income was, and what they wanted to do in 2018 before he caused loads of controversy. So we're going to be looking at that, looking at the cost of governance for the legislators. And the phone lines will be open for you to call, make your contributions, so you'll be part of that segment. And I don't want you to miss any segment at all, because it's going to be very interesting this morning. First, we go on this break. When we come back, we want to take some stories in the papers this morning. Let's go on a break.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen Television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. It's the newspaper review segment, and in this segment, I want to start with a punch this morning, and it says here, Buhari's government is not corrupt like past administration. Osibajo. That's from the Vice President. The Vice President, Yemi Osibajo, on Monday said the difference between the present administration and the other was that Muhammadu Buhari's administration is not corrupt. He said once a country had a president that was not corrupt, half of such countries' financial problems were over. I don't know if you agreed with that, but the phone lines is open for you to call, and let's hear from you. We also have in the Punch this story, and it says, wake up to your responsibility. Sultan-led JNI tells Buhari. The Jumatu Nasirul Islam, under the leadership of the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Sa'd Abubakar III, has asked the President Muhammadu Buhari to wake up to its statutory responsibilities of protecting lives and properties of Nigerians across the country. The wake-up call, according to the Muslim body, became imperative following the killings by suspected headsmen of villages in the Bassa local government of Plateau State. We also have in the story this morning, dump fire. Lagos tells Olusosun residents to relocate. The Lagos state government Monday asked residents living close to the dump at Olusosun area or Jota to relocate in order to prevent health hazard associated with the inhaling of smoke billowing from the dump. That site has been there for some time. Now the government is saying people that reside in those areas and the environs to relocate. I do not know if monies will be given back to the landlords of those areas, but for health hazard, relocate now. Okay, we have this. Ambode means well for Lagosians on land use charges. The special advisor to the governor of Lagos State, and he says, and advisors to communities, he says on Monday that Ambode meant well for Lagosians, adding that monies realized from the land use charge was meant to build more infrastructure. My opinion is not known here, but I must say that is it coming at the right time? Especially when the economy is like this. Do you increase anything for over 400% without help the citizenry or Lagosians? Okay, but he's saying he meant well, the land use charges was for more infrastructure in the state. Okay, let me take other stories away from the Lagos State, and so let's look at other stories here in the Punch this morning, and it says, lack of financial autonomy affecting state judiciary, says CJN. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onomughen, said on Monday that the judiciary at the state level was being deprived of financial independence. He said financial autonomy was critical to the judiciary. We also have in the papers, before we move to the next paper this morning, we've arrested thugs working for Milaye police. The police said they have arrested 2 suspected political thugs working for Senator Dino Milaye and recovered 2 AK-47 rifles, 5 pump-action guns, and a heap of charms from them. The first spokesperson, Moshood Jimoh, in a statement on Monday, explained that the Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad trailed and arrested Kabiru Sadu, a.k.a. Osama, 31 years of age, and Nuhu Salisu, a.k.a. Small 25, after a gun battle with the police team. According to him, the gun battle lasted for some hours on January 19, 2018, and gave the location where that happened. The police alleged that the suspect confessed that they were contracted by Dino Milaye to work for them as political talks during the meeting in December 2017 in his car along the airport road, Abuja. I hope that is correct. I hope that is, and if they are right, I don't think this is nice at all when you have political talks working for you. But, I hope this is not another tale of later someone is saying they're apologizing again. I just hope it's the correct story. We also have in the papers this morning, and I want to take some stories from the Daily Trust this morning. It says here, Miriam Sanders' trial still as witness disappear. You know what it is if you're a witness. This witness disappeared. Okay, but I'll take this story. The police yesterday failed to commence leading evidence in the murder trial of Miriam Sanders following the decision of the first witness to leave the courtroom before he was called. The police prosecutor, CSP James Idachaba, told the court that at least 2 of the prosecutor's witnesses were in court and that he was ready to proceed with the hearing subject to the convenience of the court. However, Miriam counsel Joseph Daudu told the court of the pending application, which he said was seeking an order of the court to declare that this charge against the defendant was incompetent. Well, you need to get hold of the papers this morning as a Daily Trust to read more on that story. Police decorate CP Danjuma Ibrahim and others, AIGs. The Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, yesterday decorated Commissioner for Police, Danjuma Ibrahim, with his new rank of Assistant Inspector General of Police, AIG, after being acquainted over alleged killings of 5 traders and a woman in 2005 at Apo in Abuja. This is not a good one. I do not like when you don't have enough evidences before you slam it on someone. Anyway, they've cleared the air on that. IG suspend police deployment to VIPs. IGP also ordered the regularization and standardization of police personnel deployed to political and public office holders. He said in view of the current security challenges in the country, it has become expedient for the police to streamline the deployment of its personnel attached to the political public office holders, aimed at enhancing effective and efficient policing of the country. So where you have VIPs with 20 policemen, I'm exaggerating. Right now, the police have decided to streamline their duties. And so, hey, you might not have all the escorts of the world with you anymore. I don't think it's even right getting a lot of people. If you're sincere, if you're truthful, if you're good in what you're doing, I don't think you should be afraid of someone coming to kidnap you or kill you. Okay, we have this. Presidency asks Senate to leave ban on confirmations. The presidency yesterday urged the Senate to leave ban on confirmation of nominees of President Muhammadu Buhari pending before it. To lift it, lift the ban. Okay, Presidential Advisor on National Assembly Senate, Senator Ita Inang, made the call during the screening of 2 nominees for deputies governors of the Central Bank of Nigeria and 4 members of the Monetary Policy Committee. The Senate had last year planned an embargo on confirmation of nominees of the president not captured in the Constitution. The embargoes followed a remarks by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo on confirmation of the acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Now that they want that ban lifted, does it mean that the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the acting chairman, will now become the chairman? I don't know. But let's continue watching. It's very important that we follow up. Strange disease kills 8 students in Katsina. A yet to be identified disease had killed 8 students at Government Science Secondary School, Kufi, Katsina State. That's the Daily Trust reporters gathered that the authorities of the boarding school have since weekend closed it down and sent students back home. The closure, however, did not go down well with the State House of Assembly, which said sending the student home could aggravate the situation. The Assembly directed its Committee on Education and Health to thoroughly investigate the matter. Why? I don't know. Why wouldn't they be sent home? Why? Let them go and take care of themselves. Should they be in that environment? It could just be an epidemic. It could be something else. Truck overloading against safety rules. Fashola, the Minister of Power and Works, Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, says overloading of trucks is against road safety rules and regulations and constitute barriers to prosperity and national development. Fashola said this on Monday in Abuja during a one-day public enlightenment program on developments in the road sector organized by the ministry. Well, I think I'll just take this final one, and it says, abuse, ban codeine syrup, Tambuwa urges federal government. A consultant at the Usman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital, Sokoto, Dr. Abdul Fatai Bakari, yesterday called for measures to curb rising cases of addiction, particularly amongst married women in Sokoto and other northern states. This is just as Sokoto Governor Tambuwa urged the federal government to ban the sale of codeine syrup in the country. If they ban codeine syrup, what will happen to those taking it for cough? You know, if you had cough, they tell you take syrup, codeine syrup is faster. But some people abuse all sorts of drugs, all sorts of medications. You give to them, they just abuse it. Right now, it's just a vogue. People abuse it. And the governor is saying, ban it, and let's see what will happen. And for women, I don't know why they say women are, I don't know who is frustrating you to the extent of, hey, taking things to ease addiction, going to the extent of getting yourself addicted to drugs just to wade away feelings or situation you're going through. There are better ways to just wade away whatever you're going through. I don't want to preach here this morning, but I know that if you call God, He will answer you. Don't let me preach this morning, okay? I will move away from that paper. That's the Daily Trust. We want to take a look at the Vanguard this morning. But before we go on, we'll go on this break, and when we come back, SuperDawn will continue with the newspapers. We have the Vanguard and the Nation newspaper. Let's go on a break.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us. SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us. On Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Bad breath, also known as halitosis or phthisis, affects an estimated 25% of people globally. There are a number of potential causes of halitosis, but the vast majority come down to oral hygiene. Halitosis can cause significant worry, embarrassment, and anxiety, but generally it is relatively easy to remedy. The most common cause of halitosis is bad oral hygiene. If particles of food are left in the mouth, they break down by bacteria producing sulfur compounds, and there are a number of common causes of bad breath, which include smoking, tooth decay, and alcohol consumption. Bad breath in children is often due to a trapped item in the nasal cavity. Bad breath is a common problem that can cause significant psychological distress. There are a number of potential causes and treatments of halitosis, which is the third most common reason that people seek dental care after tooth decay and gum disease. The specific odor of breath varies depending on the cause of the problem. It is best to ask a close friend or relative to gauge your mouth odor, as it is very difficult to access it yourself. If no one is at hand, one way of checking the odor is to lick your wrist, leave it to dry, and then smell it. If it smells bad, there is a strong chance your breath also smells bad. Some individuals are concerned about their breath even though they may have little or no mouth odor. This condition is called halitophobia and can lead to obsessive mouth cleansing behavior. Major potential causes of bad breath include tobacco products causing their own types of mouth odor, breakdown of food particles stuck in the teeth. Some foods such as onions and garlic can also cause bad breath after they are digested. Their breakdown products are carried in the blood to the lungs where they can affect the breath. Dry mouth is another cause, as saliva naturally cleans the mouth. If the mouth is naturally dry, but due to a specific disease such as xerostomia, odors can build up. Dental hygiene, which requires brushing and flossing, ensure the removal of small particles of food that can build up and slowly break down, producing odor. A form of bacteria called plaque builds up if brushing is not regular. This plaque can irritate the gums and cause pockets of build up between the teeth and gums called periodontitis. Crash diets, which is fasting and low carbohydrate eating programs, can produce halitosis. This is due to the breakdown of fats producing chemicals called ketones. These ketones have a stronger aroma. Certain drug medications can also reduce saliva and therefore increase mouth odor. Other drugs can produce odors as they break down and release chemicals in the breath, such as nitrates used to treat angina, some chemotherapy chemicals, and some tranquilizers such as phenothiazines. Individuals who take vitamin supplements in large doses can also be prone to bad breath. Mouth, nose, and throat condition effects sometimes produce small bacteria covered stones that form on the tonsils at the back of the throat and produce a mouth odor. Also, infections or inflammations in the nose, throat, or sinuses can cause halitosis, which is bad breath, especially in children. It can be caused if they have a foreign body lodged in their nasal cavity. Some cancers, liver failures, and other metabolic diseases can cause halitosis due to specific mixes of chemicals that they produce. Gastroesophageal reflux disease can cause bad breath due to the regular reflux of stomach acids. Major treatment for bad breath include brushing at least twice a day, but preferably after each meal. Flossing reduces the buildup of food particles and plaque from between the teeth. Brushing only cleans around 60% of the surface of the tooth. Cleaning dentures of anything that goes into your mouth. Dentures, bridge, and mouth guard should be cleaned as recommended on a daily basis. Cleaning prevents the bacteria from building up and being transferred back into the mouth. Changing toothbrush every 2 to 3 months is also important for similar reasons. Brushing your tongue removes bacteria, food and dead cells commonly stored up on the tongue, especially in smokers or those with a dry mouth particularly. Sometimes a tongue scraper can be used to avoid the dry mouth by drinking plenty of water. Avoid alcohol and tobacco, both of which dehydrate the mouth. Chewing gum or licking a sweet, preferably sugar-free, can help stimulate the production of saliva. Taking a conscious look at one's diet by avoiding onions, garlic, and spicy food, sugary foods are also leads to bad breath. Reduce coffee and alcohol consumption. Eating breakfast that includes rough foods can also help clean the back of the tongue. If bad breath persists, however, it is advisable to visit a doctor to check for underlying causes. Remember, keeping the mouth hydrated can reduce mouth odor.
Sorry about that interruption, and we'll just take that again. It's the Vanguard newspaper. It says, corruption in the judiciary goes beyond bribery, CJN. And here says, extra legal judgment, others also corrupt act. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, and Justice Walter Onogem maintained yesterday that corruption in the judiciary was not limited to bribe taking, saying it includes the giving of judgment or other based on, yes, I think it's not just bribery. He's saying that based on consideration other than legal merit, you know, it's not just taking and giving. There are some other things you do. You know this person is wrong. You know this person is faulty. You know it's not right. You just do it. It is also corruption. He said the National Judiciary Council, NJC, under his watch will tackle the cankerworm head on with a view to weeding out those questionable characters from the bench. I pray this happen in the judiciary. If you have a stable judiciary, everything just work out in a country like this. But if not, that's when people do things and go scot-free. And it's just like that. Okay, we have this other one here in the papers. Mysterious death, diseases hit Edo community following curses by Oba of Benin. If you do not believe it, you need to get hold of the Vanguard so you can read more story on that. But it says in Benin, mysterious death has hit some communities in Edo State following curses placed on the community by the Oba of Benin for flouting his orders. The causes Vanguard gathered was necessitated by the disturbance and preservation of native norms by the former official of the Outlaw Community Development Association, that's the CDA, in the village, who flouted the order of the Benin monarch. Well, this is what we read in stories, in different stories, but right now it's happening live. The Obas are, it is said that they are mini gods, but they are not God anyway. And so he placed a curse and people started dying. Okay, we also have this. Herdsmen killed traditional ruler, his wife, and 8 others in Kogi. Lokoja, a traditional ruler, Musa Idibo, Okigwe of Agbenima community, his wife, and 8 other persons were yesterday killed, while several houses were burnt by herdsmen in renewed attack at the Agbenima and also Apada Iyade village in Omala local government area of Kogi State. The attackers, who were said to be armed with sophisticated weapons, reportedly hid in the bushes around the villages from where they launched the attacks. These guys are not relenting. These guys are wicked, heartless, barbaric. I don't know words. Words are failing me to use. I don't know why people are so heartless. Heartless. I think we need to do something. The security agencies need to do something. Government needs to do something. I don't know why we cannot stop them. I don't know why we cannot stop them. Okay, we have this one. NDLEA uncovers warehouse of Igbo in Edo State, nabbed 64 years old man. Is it Igbo or Igbo? Okay. Marian, okay. 64 years old man, Daniel Idumodia, has been arrested by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the NDLEA, in a particular local government, and they got over 280 Indian hemp found inside the ceiling of his house. On his arrest, he admitted knowledge of the exhibit, saying, "A friend of mine kept the cannabis inside the ceiling of my house, and the house was built by my son who resides in Europe." You don't have an excuse. If you keep anything that is against the law, that you'll find yourself in jail. Okay, we have this one. Jonathan's government shared 150 billion in 2 weeks before 2015 elections. Osibajo, the Vice President Yemi Osibajo, said yesterday that whereas the ex-president Goodluck Jonathan's administration spent only 153 billion on infrastructure in 3 years preceding the 2014, and this also in 150 billion was shared in 2 weeks before 2015 elections. Osibajo, who stated this at the 7th Presidential Quarterly Business Forum for Private Sector Stakeholders at the Conference Center Old Banquet Hall, Presidential Villa, Abuja, who noted that corruption had not been completely dealt with by President Muhammadu Buhari. In other papers, it said the worst, most corrupt was the tenor of President Goodluck Jonathan. Okay, we take this one. PDP, APC trade words over Edo foreign debt burden. The Edo State chapter of People's Democratic Party and its All Progressive Congress, APC counterparts, are in war of words over the state's foreign debt profile. Vanguard investigations revealed that the Debt Management Office, DMO, had ranked Edo State as the 3rd highest debtor to foreign creditors among subnational governments in Nigeria, with a debt toll, a profile of about $232.2 billion at December 2017. When you begin to see this debt that states are owing, you now know why they can't even pay salaries, because to service those debts is money. Well, we'll take some stories here. African tired of being in darkness, additional. It says here, President of the African Development Bank, that's the AFDP, Dr. Akiwumi Adesina, had declared that Africa is tired of being in darkness, and that is the time to take, this is the time to take decisive action and turn around the negative narrative to light up and power the continent. I must stop here, pause here to talk about the electricity. I don't know what happened. I actually moved to where I'm residing now because I needed electricity. I needed to do some research. I needed to read at night. But hey, what is happening right now? I can't even explain it. You're on fuel almost every day. before now, you get electricity supply in where I reside before now every day. Even if you buy, say, 10 liters of fuel, you might not use it in a week. But every night now, as we speak, 4 weeks, getting into months, I don't know what is happening. They bring it in the morning, I'll be at work, say 2 hours, and that's that for the day. And before you say, you see, hey, thank God it's NEPA. I won't forget it growing up. Thank God it's NEPA. If you're in that generation, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, before you say that, it's going to be 3 or 4 days. This is not good at all. It is not good at all. It's not good at all. Where you, I don't know, and you say you're using a prepaid meter, you're excited, you've got a prepaid meter, and you don't even see you're not consuming anything. So how will the government generate more funds from that area where you don't even see the electricity, you don't see anything? So how would they make more monies? I'm just wondering. Okay, I take this other one. It says, suspected thugs, kidnappers, robbers finger Dino Milaye as armed supplier. It is Kogi government police frame up Dino Milaye. And so one is saying, we got thugs, we got kidnappers, we got robbers, and they said that Dino Milaye sent them. But Dino Milaye is saying police frame up. Do you believe that? Anyway, we take more stories before we wrap up this. I'll take more stories in the. Okay, let me just take one more story from the Vanguard. Then we move to the Nation newspaper. Delta community alleges eviction threat by the army. In Warri, the indigenes of Uvie community, local government area of Delta State, have sent as an SOS to President Muhammadu Buhari over the threat by the Nigerian army to evict them from their communities over claim that the area had been earmarked for an army barracks. They said the army recently came to erect signposts in some areas with inscription, "Army land, keep off." I'm just smiling because you're growing up, you know, a military child. You will see that keep off. If you do not keep off, you're on your own. The story, you'll not be alive to tell the story. Okay? And they are saying, hey, coming to our community and claiming that this is where they want to put their barracks. That's not fair at all. Then I'm going to take some of the stories and the reaction from the Nigerian army. It says here, when Vanguard contacted spokesman of the Nigerian army, Brigadier General Texas Chukwu, he said, I have not heard of it. I will find out. I will call the military location in that state and from the 4th Brigade, Benin City, to find out. Okay, let's see how that goes. We'll continue with that story. Let's see how it goes. Away from that, we have the Nation newspaper this morning. And it says, Ladoja's 4.7 billion corruption trial resumes today. We also have this suspect. Milaye gave us 3 guns and 430,000 cash each. We have this Oyegun Buhari's will ensure free Ekiti poll. I pray that happens. Poland tied 11 Eagles star in the Warsaw. I love football. That's why I paused there. We also have this 46 senators sign up to back Buhari in polls or the battle. And the writer says governors join lobby to save president's veto. Some senators are planning to resist the National Assembly's plot to override President Muhammadu Buhari's veto on amendment to the Electoral Act the nation has learned. Their major concern is to ensure that the president's veto survives, especially the rejection of the new order of election for 2019. No fewer than 46 of the 108 senators have urged to register to stop moves by the Senate to pass the amendment to the Electoral Act without Buhari's assent. Besides, some supporters of the president are lobbying members of the House of Representatives to oppose the plot to override his veto. I don't know why you lobby. These are adults. Why do you lobby? They have sense of their own. They have minds of their own. If it's wrong, let them decide. Okay, we also have this one. $3 billion lost to NNPC strategic alliance deal. And the writer says $150 billion stolen 2 weeks before 2015 elections. And this came out from the Vice President, Yemi Osibajo. Okay, we take some stories and we'll be wrapping up this segment. This is interesting. Yahoo boy gets 15 years imprisonment. The Lagos State High Court in Igboshere has sentenced an internet scammer, Demola Adebade, to 15 years imprisonment for attempted robbery. Justice Sintoden Ogunsoya convicted Adebaji, 36 years old, attempting to rob his childhood friend, Charles Ikpatike, with toy gun on Friday, 7th of February 2014. That story is something I really want to talk about. You know, attempting to rob your own friend, childhood friend. What sort of money are they looking for God's sake? What kind of attitude is that? Anyway, this is going to serve as deterrent to other people. Yahoo, yahoo. Okay? Ex-council chief slumps die after meal. You need to get hold of the Nation newspaper this morning. You can read that. VC, OAU, ICT parks will align skills with job markets. Very important. In the papers today, we get NCC 6 stakeholders' input on commercial satellite regulations. Read that. And finally, I have to take this one. I wept through my call to bar. This is a touching young lawyer. Oluwaseun Tijani eyes were set on law. According to him, it will be, among others, help keep poverty at bay. But he lost his dad, his surviving parent. In 2014, the Lagos State University students tells his story. Well, against all odds, he decided to be a lawyer. The long lawyer made it. Despite the fact he lost his parent, he still insisted. He believes that he'll make it in life. And so there's no excuse to failure. Just do the right thing and you'll make it. And most especially, be more prayerful. This is where we stop. We end this segment, the newspaper review. We'll go on the break. When we come back, SuperDawn will continue. Please stay with us.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us. SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Bad breath, also known as halitosis or fetoris, affects an estimated 25% of people globally. There are a number of potential causes of halitosis, but the vast majority come down to oral hygiene. Halitosis can cause significant worry, embarrassment, and anxiety, but generally it is relatively easy to remedy. The most common cause of halitosis is bad oral hygiene. If particles of food are left in the mouth, they break down by bacteria producing sulfur compounds, and there are a number of common causes of bad breath, which include smoking, tooth decay, and alcohol consumption. Bad breath in children is often due to a trapped item in the nasal cavity. Bad breath is a common problem that can cause significant psychological distress. There are a number of potential causes and treatments of halitosis, which is the third most common reason that people seek dental care after tooth decay and gum disease. The specific odor of breath varies depending on the cause of the problem. It is best to ask a close friend or relative to gauge your mouth odor, as it is very difficult to access it yourself. If no one is at hand, one way of checking the odor is to lick your wrist, leave it to dry, and then smell it. If it smells bad, there is a strong chance your breath also smells bad. Some individuals are concerned about their breath even though they may have little or no mouth odor. This condition is called halitophobia and can lead to obsessive mouth cleansing behavior. Major potential causes of bad breath include tobacco products causing their own types of mouth odor, breakdown of food particles stuck in the teeth. Some foods such as onions and garlic can also cause bad breath after they are digested. Their breakdown products are carried in the blood to the lungs where they can affect the breath. Dry mouth is another cause, as saliva naturally cleans the mouth. If the mouth is naturally dry, but due to a specific disease such as xerostomia, odors can build up. Dental hygiene, which requires brushing and flossing, ensure the removal of small particles of food that can build up and slowly break down, producing odor. A form of bacteria called plaque builds up if brushing is not regular. This plaque can irritate the gums and cause pockets to build up between the teeth and gums called periodontitis. Crash diets, which is fasting and low carbohydrate eating programs, can produce halitosis. This is due to the breakdown of fats producing chemicals called ketones. These ketones have a stronger aroma. Certain drug medications can also reduce saliva and therefore increase mouth odor. Other drugs can produce odors as they break down and release chemicals in the breath, such as nitrates used to treat angina, some chemotherapy chemicals, and some tranquilizers such as phenothiazines. Individuals who take vitamin supplements in large doses can also be prone to bad breath. Mouth, nose, and throat condition effects sometimes produce small bacteria covered stones that form on the tonsils at the back of the throat and produce a mouth odor. Also, infections or inflammations in the nose, throat, or sinuses can cause halitosis, which is bad breath, especially in children. It can be caused if they have a foreign body lodged in their nasal cavity. Some cancers, liver failures, and other metabolic diseases can cause halitosis due to specific mixes of chemicals that they produce. Gastroesophageal reflux disease can cause bad breath due to the regular reflux of stomach acids. Major treatment for bad breath include Brushing at least twice a day, but preferably after each meal. Flossing reduces the buildup of food particles and plaque from between the teeth. Brushing only cleans around 60% of the surface of the tooth. Cleaning dentures of anything that goes into your mouth. Dentures, bridge, and mouth guard should be cleaned as recommended on a daily basis. Cleaning prevents the bacteria from building up and being transferred back into the mouth. Changing toothbrush every 2 to 3 months is also important for similar reasons. Brushing your tongue removes bacteria, food, and dead cells commonly stored up on the tongue, especially in smokers or those with a dry mouth particularly. Sometimes a tongue scraper can be useful. Avoid the dry mouth by drinking plenty of water. Avoid alcohol and tobacco, both of which dehydrate the mouth. Chewing gum or licking a sweet, preferably sugar-free, can help stimulate the production of saliva. Taking a conscious look at one's diet by avoiding onions, garlic, and spicy food, sugary foods are also linked to bad breath. Reduce coffee and alcohol consumption. Eating breakfast that includes rough foods can also help clean the back of the tongue. If bad breath persists, however, it is advisable to visit a doctor to check for underlying causes. Remember, keeping the mouth hydrated can reduce mouth odor.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us. SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us. SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us. SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us. SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed. Now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen Television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. We want to do look at the cost of governance. We're looking at focusing at the legislators. Nigerians have always complained about the amount that is accrued to the National Assembly and House of Representatives. But today we want to look at it. I do not know what you think about it, but in 2018 budget, if you look at the budget for 2018, you will see that every year, certain amount is given to the lawmakers. We have the senators 109 and the House of Representatives 360 members. Do you think really, in all honesty, Nigeria at this point need to be giving these senators loads of running costs? I mean, do they need to give them? Should we make it a part-time basis? And this is the discussion we're looking at today. We want to look at how we can actually work with realities. Everybody has said in this country that this year, the economy is a bit hard. And so if some group of persons are receiving monthly 3.5 million for running cost and salaries 750,000 monthly and other benefits they get, what do you think will make of a country like that? How do you think the country will move forward when some persons are taking 18,000 minimum wage in this same country? And it's a bit difficult moving the 18,000 minimum wage to 50,000 naira. So we're looking at it today. Should we reduce the cost? Should we? Or should we make it a part-time basis? Are they just too much? Or is it that it's not enough? Is it not enough? Are they not enough? Or should we cut down on what we give them as monthly take home or as the running cost? You know, these people are given this money to handle their constituency. Are they really monitoring them? Do they monitor these people? Are they doing what they need to do? So the phone lines are open. I learned that the network is not too good, but you can keep trying. Call us. I hope you can see those numbers well. Let's find out from you what you think about this continued existence of expensive legislative running cost in a country like Nigeria. I'm saying is its continued existence. It's been on like that, and from 115 billion, they said, okay, no, it has to go, well, what they need to run in a year has to be 125 billion. From 115 billion, they brought it to 125 billion. And the discussion continued with that, where Nigerians rose up to say, this is enough. We cannot take this. Some people work from 8 o'clock till 6 p.m. and their take-up pay is just 18,000. In a country like this where you buy your fuel yourself, you're going to, out of that 18,000, remember that some of them had kids in school. Even if it's a school, a government school, they buy uniforms, you feed your kids, you pay house rent out of the 13,000 naira. What else? Your family is doing one function and you expected to even contribute. Some of them don't even bother contribute, but even to feed. And that's why some partnership comes in, where some churches, what they do is help out, feed people, a 3 square meal. My church has what they call inner city, where people at the end of the month contribute and help. That's where you see that there's poverty. Do not let us deceive ourselves. Where you see that people cannot feed. Some of their parents earn 18,000. Even if you're earning 50,000, what can that do for you? If you don't have a car of your own and you're using transportation, maybe you live somewhere in Kotun and your office is somewhere at Anthony. Do you know how much it's going to cost to get to work on a daily basis from Monday through Fridays? And so some people are complaining. Some people are just committees meeting. They pass on bills. And they're lawmakers. And they are going home with, oh my God, I don't want to say the amount. But I know that the monthly running cost is 18.5 million. Even if we want to be fair to ourselves, don't you think that the minimum wage need to be up a bit? Do you think we should make it a part-time basis? We got someone and said, hey, we cannot make it a part-time basis. We cannot do that. And I will continue with this, but I'll bring to you where the newsroom went out and got some feelings, reaction about people concerning the cost of governance. We'll bring that to you as well as we continue in the program. But you see, some people are earning 18,000. They will feed on 18,000. And that is why Nigerians, people with good hearts, they are helping humanity. They are helping out because it is not something that is palatable. It is really wrong to say you're earning 50,000, you go to work, you transport yourself, you feed, you want to look a bit good like myself. Will that be enough? Will that be enough? Well, some people, and the 13.5 million, hey, you just bring a receipt. Nobody's watching what you use that for. All it's meant for is your constituency project. So do a project, bring the receipt of the project, and that's it. Nobody monitors what type. What you did, was it up to 13.5 million or it's less? Nobody's looking at that. And so we want to look at it today. Is it right for us to continue this way? Because this has continued, is a continued existence that these people once in a while want to increase, once in a while they tell you they're doing projects. We have seen some sincere senators, we've seen some sincere House of Representatives. I must tell you the truth. We've seen some sincere ones where you see them help the community. There's one just behind us here. And that one, that particular honorable, every end of the year, you know, people go for Christmas. And some people go for the Muslim break or doing Layya, let me speak, palliatives. You know, the Muslim break festival. This man will put buses. For Christmas, he put buses. And you're not paying. He takes you to the east. If you're going to Imo, Enugu, Abia, Ebonyi, all of those, Anambra, you're going to go for free. And he gives you a date where he takes them back. That's 2nd of January. It's for free. You see where he puts solar in his community. You see where he engages them. He did healthcare. Some of these things they do, I know, is part of this 13.5 million. But in some communities, you see some of the House of Representatives, you see that they do borehole. How much is borehole? dug one borehole and tell you it's 13.5 million. And Nigerians have spoken and say, hey, this amount is just unspeakable. It's too much. We must do something about it. Or better still, can we increase the minimum wage of people working for government? And when I talk about minimum wage, you're not looking at private establishment. Some private establishments, if you see how they use people, and at the end of the day, they give people peanuts home, you begin to wonder, what a country. What a country. But now we're focusing on the legislators. We're focusing on the legislators today. I'm going to read something out for you this morning. And what for 2018 budget is, the general budget is, it's presented 8.612 trillion. And benchmark of this budget, the benchmark for the crude oil price is about $45 per barrel. And one thing is striking, aside the lawmakers, for education is 61.73 billion, and for health 71.11 billion. If you look at all of these calculations, and you begin to wonder where this money is going to, are we not overpricing ourselves? Should we look at it very well again? Should we rather make the lawmakers, I've said this before, a part-time business where you have your business, if you come to sit in the house, you just pay for that sitting and you leave. Is it not better that way? Or this existing way to you, do you think is better? Because, and some people have told me, Vera, just allow them be. If we have the National Assembly in 2016, their budget was 115 billion in 2014. In 2017, they said they came up one morning and said, hey, that 115 billion is not enough for us. Remember that we have senators, 109, and we have the House of Representatives, 360 members. And so they said, that's not enough. It's not enough for us. We need to up the game. We need to do more. And hey, they begin to demand for 125 billion to be used. If you look at this money, is it making us move forward or we're moving backwards? We'll go on this break, a quick one. When we come back, SuperDawn will continue. I want you to think about it. When we come back, the phone lines will be open for you to call. We'll be right back.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us. SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
The salaries earned by senators are far, far too expensive, and those revenue, or I say that income given to each person, can always be reduced or even cut in half. Yes, there are lawmakers, and they are the ones who are making the laws in Nigeria. But when you go outside and look at the average man that can barely survive, and things are getting expensive by the day, you begin to wonder, who are they making the laws for? So for me, I think if they can be able to use the money given to them to put structures on ground to be able to help the common man, the masses will better appreciate that than them amassing the wealth.
These people are not representing us. They are representing themselves. So exploitative that they are carrying, daily on. This is more of the reason why some people suggest pastime, senator. That's even the way the senatorial duty is carried out in abroad is not full time, because they started to pay themselves a jumbo salary. It's not commensurate with what they are doing. So indeed, I think it is high time now we youth we rise up to defend ourselves, because if we leave our hope in the hands of these old men, I think they only care for themselves, for their family and their pocket.
If Nigeria as a whole can reduce the amount paid to senators, reduce it a lot, and use that money to develop other sectors of the economy, you will see if they don't make the Nigerian legislative arm, if they don't make it very lucrative for people, the craze to get into this place will reduce. You understand? How can a senator be earning 13.5 million a month? It is unimaginable. Why would they not kill themselves to get there? Why?
The amount of money they're collecting is too much, and instead of them to use the money to construct roads and build schools for the students, they are using it for themselves, and other people are suffering just because of them, and that is not right. They should use the money to take care of the poor ones and the people that need money to go to schools.
We don't have that. So what we just need is just prayers, and we have been trying our possible best. But the only thing is just that maybe there should be a revolution in this country. I think that would be the best thing, just like what Ghanaian did, and they have a better country. They have a better economy now.
The revelation by Senator Shehu Sani has been worrisome to a lot of Nigerians.
Welcome back. You saw the reactions of some Nigerians there saying this jumbo salaries must end. Someone also said that most of them agreed that it should be on part-time basis. But can they really function on part-time basis? I don't know. My opinion doesn't matter here. Your opinion matters. I don't know if you think they should operate on part-time basis. Looking at what we are going through as a people in Nigeria. Before now, Nigerians have not been putting eyes. We did not put eyes on what they take. But the way things are unfolding in the country, Nigerians are now sensitive to a lot of things. And so they are saying, hey, we cannot keep pushing more monies while other things are suffering. If you had listened very well to one of the people Super Screen reporter spoke with, he said something. He said, instead of giving these lawmakers this kind of amount monthly, he said they can use it, the federal government can use this amount to get more infrastructure done, in place than giving it to these people. But some other people will tell you it's very important that we give them for them to handle their constituencies. Some of them are enjoying what these lawmakers are doing. But some people also feel that, is it not just lawmaking? What else are they doing? Lawmaking, raising motions, bills, and oversight functions. That's just basically their job. And so must you pay them that amount for lawmaking? We have a caller here. Hello, good morning to you. Good morning. What's your take?
Oh.
Good morning.
My sister, this morning, wow, this one is too much. It's too much. Not too much, it's too much. How can somebody be taking 13,500,000 a month, whereas we workers outside collecting 18,000? My sister, no, they should review it. Let them cut it down. Let them cut it down.
But are they not closer to the people? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for calling. But are they not closer to the people? Are they not close to the people? Okay. Are they? Thank you for calling. Okay. But are they not close to the people? Well, I'm expecting you to call, make your contributions. What do you think? Should they cut off the salaries or the allowances, the running costs? Should it be cut off, or should it be slashed? Or should they do they not need monies at all? Do you think instead of giving to these people, the government can actually use the money for something else, or either make them part-time? Or you think they can give them stipends for sitting allowance? Yes, there's another caller. Hello, good morning to you. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but it can be louder.
Okay. You see, I don't know where this country is heading to. With this kind of things that is happening, but just, how can millions? And this money that has been given to them, they are not being monitored. If you give this money to them for them to develop their community, but that's not being done. They will put this money into their own private.
I think you need to turn down the volume of your TV set. Okay, go ahead.
No, they're not using the money it's supposed to be used.
How do you know?
Let me tell you something. I live in the area and I know what is happening. I'm a Nigerian, so I know exactly what is happening. I'm using this money for their own private pocket. If we continue like this, I bet you, in the next year to come, I don't know where Nigeria will take people. Let them use this money judiciously. I bet you, this country will be a country to be remembered by other countries. If this money has been gone down, I bet you, none of them will ever contest for that thing. They will run away because they knew quite well that they will not get enough from them. Please, let God help us. Thank you very much.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, should we make it a part-time basis?
I think if you can be able to make it a part-time basis, I think that will help us much.
Okay, thank you for calling. Thank you for calling. Well, because, hey, if you think it's a part-time basis or you think it's okay this way, all we need are just genuine people to handle the funds. Because there's something about human beings. If you have genuine people, people that loves the people, I think, and you give them the monies, you might see what the money evidence is of what the money is meant for. And again, I'm just trying to make a balance. I'm just trying to make a balance here. And if you think that, hey, these guys are just even too much, not too much, again, permit me to use the word. Well, or should we reduce them? But the Constitution, a bicameral Constitution, if you look at the Constitution, Section 4 of Nigerian Constitution, these are the numbers that was stated here. And so we have the numbers. National Assembly 109 and the House of Representatives 360. So if we have these people, don't you think it's a bit on the high side? Don't you think they're just too much? Or do you think they're not even enough to pass laws? Are they not enough to pass laws? There's another caller. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, please. This is Mr. Nelson coming from Sulere, Nigeria, Lagos.
Okay. Mr. Nelson. Good morning, Nelson. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, the problem we
not actually the amount they are earning, but actually the lifestyle of every Nigerian. If they are making 13-point-something million, as just what you said, if they are making such kind of money and every life of Nigerian is better, then we don't have any cause to shout. But in a case where an average Nigerian is suffering and they are living fast, this is trouble. It's affecting every life. So I still suggest that they should be on part-time basis. Once every senator sits, you'll be paid and go your way.
Nelson, don't go away. I have a question for you, Nelson. Don't go away. Continue.
I'm with you, please.
Continue.
All right. So if it's on part-time basis, it will help the life of every Nigerian. It will equally help to stabilize the economy, like what most of them are earning. If they can put that into some constituency project, it will help.
Okay.
That vast amount of money without putting it into judicious use, and every life of every Nigerian is not. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you.
And every life of Nigerian is not. We are not enjoying the benefit and the dividends of democracy. Is what we are talking about. So the issue. My point is that them having this fast money is not the problem. But let every average Nigerian have a minimum wage, at least 50,000 naira. It's not bad. Are we not a Nigerian?
We are.
We are Nigerians. So
proud one.
It's better. The minimum wage should be set to 50,000 at least. We are suffering. Nobody's smiling in this country. Everything is hard. You can feel it yourself.
Thank you.
All right,
I want to ask a question when you're off. Remember that, but you answered the question. You said it while you were talking. Remember that the money is for projects, constituency projects, and they are required to bring the receipts for everything they do. But nothing was specific to that, attached to that money. So whatever you do in your constituencies, hey, let us have a ticket, a receipt for it. That's what that is for. If you say they should be on part-time basis, how much will that be? Because I'm just looking at all of it. And if you say, hey, they should just go and sit down, how do we pass laws with our constitution? How do we do that? How do we make laws? But because, hey, we must follow the constitution. And so how do we do it? If we say part-time basis, okay, part-time basis, what are we going to be giving to them? Remember that these lawmakers have committees, subcommittees that handle different kind of issues. And so how do we do it? If they come together after their meetings, after passing laws, and the subcommittees, are we going to be giving them more monies? Is it going to be across board? Will the monies be across board? These are the things that I want to hear from you. Will it be across board? If we say we don't want them, that means we're saying we don't want the Constitution. That means we're saying do away with Section 4. We don't want all of these people. Will it pay us off? And if we say we want them, should we continue this way? Yes, there's a caller here. Hello, good morning to you. Okay, good morning. Go ahead.
Please, what is happening in this country? I don't know if you understand.
A female? Okay, continue.
Because these are our legislators. I don't think they worship God. Because I don't think God is in their heart. Because whatever we are doing, we're supposed to think of where we are going next. That is the most important thing in our life. Not money, 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 money. This country, I don't think it will move on if we don't apply God in our life. Please, they should stop all this nonsense that they are doing. The money is too much. We have so many people.
Okay, but they are using it for projects. They are using it for projects.
Which project are they using it for? How many projects can they come out and say what they are using the money for? People are suffering. Too much suffering is in Nigeria now. Hardship is too much. And some people are collecting 30-point-something every month.
Are you not seeing projects around your area, your community? because there's a senator and there's a rep representing you.
I don't see any project. Come to my area. Everywhere is rough. Please.
Okay.
Please. Think of God, not of money.
Okay.
We are all leaving this money on debt. Nobody brings it and nobody is taking it.
Okay, thank you so much for calling.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. It's beautiful having a female touch on the show. I'm a female. Most times I'm with Anthony or Lamide or both of them. And now females are putting their mouth in this. The question is, should we make it a part-time basis? Is there any need gathering people together Mondays through Fridays? And sometimes they go on resets. They go on rest for some time and come back and merge it back together. Do we really? Should we continue like this? Is it paying us off? The last caller that called said that she's not seeing anything in her area. You're supposed to begin to feel some things because someone representing your area is collecting monies. And someone told me, hey, 13.5 million is not enough for my community, my constituency, because ours is large, is exposed. These are where big people stay, rich people stay, so you have to do major projects. Do you see all these projects in where you live? Can you feel the senator, the House of Reps members in where are you feeling what they are doing with this money? These are very important things we must look at for. If we make it part-time basis, are we going to get the best out of them? Or we just want to make it part-time basis because of the monies involved? Are we going to get the best out of them? Have you not been having nice times with some of them? Yes, there's a caller. Hello, good morning to you. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, you're on. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, I'm nodding. We can hear you.
Okay. My name is Vincent.
Your name is?
Vincent.
I know, Vincent. Go ahead.
This year, the issue where they matter, many people get something for Lagos State. No work, no more for business. Like me now, I don't get more to do my business. Last time I worked for business, I know the month to go out system. Just like that, and then I was saying to the collective very big money outside all people. Dropping big money. Where people get suffering for Lagos. Some people now, we battle in the bush for just that year, no money for get better work. It doesn't make any sense. In a kind solution for that.
Okay. Thank you for calling. Last caller. God help us. We want God to help us in this country's matter, honestly, where people don't have jobs, some people want to work, but there's not just work, and you have work. The money is just not enough. And some people in this country, they're earning 18,000 naira, and you say, do they call their loved ones on the phone? Do they recharge their cards? Do they eat? Can you say how much is rice? Do they even eat rice at all? If it's 18,000 minimum wage, do you eat rice at all? Gari that used to be very cheap before, it was going for 350. Now it's going for 700, 800, 900. Do they make all of this? Do they eat good food, vegetable? If you see if you want to prepare a vegetable soup, I'm telling you, for family of 4, you might just use, I'm talking about the vegetable greens, you might use, say, 1,000 naira for just the vegetable. We're not talking about the fish or the meat or the ingredients or the stock fish. There's no luxury for stock fish anymore in this country. Well, so I think we should begin to look at it. Is it a waste giving the lawmakers money? Or it's not a waste, they are helpful, they make laws without overcost with their functions. Should we reduce them? We cannot, obviously, with the Constitution, but we can amend. We can sit and say, hey, we do not want these numbers of people again. Or do you think Nigerians should talk about the minimum wage that is now being pegged? You know, they're going to start paying 50. Even the 50 they want to pay, it is not settled yet. So what do you think we need to do to look, because looking at the cost of governance is looking a bit ambiguous, is looking big, is looking really fat. And some people feel these are just jumbo salaries. Should we cut them off? Should we make them, do part-time jobs? And whenever we need them, we want to make laws, we call them in, they sit, we pay them for sitting, instead of sitting allowance, this allowance, furniture allowance, that allowance, this allowance, and all those allowances. Do you think we need to sit down and talk on the take-home pay for the legislators? Well, this is where we come to an end of today's edition. Well, the Christ Embassy Zone 2, they're supposed to be here today, but we didn't see them. Most likely they will be here tomorrow. And I hope you did enjoy today's show. Well, don't worry. Anthony will be here tomorrow with me. I'm not going to do this alone. He's going to be here tomorrow. But today I did it all alone. And I enjoyed myself because of the callers. You called to tell us how you felt about this topic or what you feel and your suggestion. I want to thank all of you that called during the program, and I want to thank the crew for making this program a very interesting one this morning. I don't want to call names today. Don't worry, I'll do all of the names calling on Friday. And from me, I want to say thank you all. I am Vera Osopo. Keep watching Super Screen Television because we are the TV for you. We are not biased. We're bringing it as it is. So we're going to make you enjoy your day. I'll see you by God's grace tomorrow. Have a beautiful day.